We're at 800. I feel like we've got some pretty fun games today. Let's go. Staying in a 3-minute pool. I think we've got this guy before. I can't remember if we played from this. This is a familiar name to me, though. I'm pretty sure we played him. Just can't remember if we were the black pieces at the time. But I guess if the game repeats. Okay, interesting. Yeah, B3 makes sense. Defending the bishop. I think we're gonna take, but let me think about this. I mean, takes here, there's always knight takes f7, which doesn't feel right. Let's start by just getting rid of this. And I'm kind of drawn to the move c6, but also knight takes d5. Knight takes d5, knight takes f7. Could get very messy. I don't know. I'll just do it. Looks kind of fun. Maybe knight f7, king f7. Okay, I didn't expect that. I was thinking knight f7, king f7, takes. Could be all right. My queen's under attack, but we have this fantastic move. Queen takes g2 here. I think we can just take this. That's a check. That's a check. All my pieces are getting out with a check. Check. We'll take that bishop. No. Interesting. Let's go here. If h3, we can drop the bishop back, and I would just like to castle next turn. Okay, I see the threat. As I ask myself, how scared are we? How much do I want to react to that? Or do I need to react to that? Maybe we can go here. So I'd like to play like f4 or something, but I need this defended first. Wow. It's a very bold move. So bishop f2 is damn near checkmate. We're going to play it because we want to force the king up, but okay, so we'll play this to make way for rook f5. There's still a lot to do. So I think we'll start with this. We should see this if he's really on the ball. But then I'll play bishop h4, and I don't really know how you're like stopping all of my threats, you know? I feel like there's mates afloat here. Yeah, rook f6, knight takes, and rook takes is good. Rook g5, knight takes, and rook takes, I don't know. Kind of looks cooler, but it's pretty much the same. Pretty much the same type of checkmate. I mean, there's no way you can survive having your king literally on g6. I'm sorry, that's not the way the game works. That would be a very bad sign if we couldn't find a win or a mate there. Another good fight though from this guy, right? Like absolutely a good fight. So I decided to go like this. Knight d5. I think there were other moves here, but I kind of like this because, hey, if knight takes f7, which I thought might have been the best move, I'm going to take it. And I'm going to take back here. And yeah, my king's in the middle of nowhere, but this pawn is hanging. You kind of have to castle. I thought, okay, we can just develop our bishops, bring the rooks, and slide the king back. And I love my position. That's what I was thinking. Hey, you see a pair of socks? Ah, nice to see the oil on the board, eh, Crosby? 87, great stuff. Don't mind seeing the Oilers break the seal there. Great stuff. Go Canada. I'm a big supporter of Canadian hockey and Canadian hockey teams. A patriot, you might say. All right, on to the next game. All right, D4, we're going with our opening. E5, the undefeated. You know how it goes. Here we go. There we go. I like it. I like it. I'm already eyeballing checkmate on H2. Say it ain't so. Okay. I'm hunting. You know I'm hunting out there. Just a guy trying to make it happen. It's safe to assume that, you know, we're looking to break through here now. Moves like this, hey, you know, just full respect to you for that. If I'm not mistaken, this game, I called it ending with mate on H2, but it could still happen if we get some situation where the king goes to H1 type of thing. I'm going to go here because I think this will happen. Then we want to castle long. Then we want H3 to happen. Oh, okay, let's play H5. Just a great move here. But yeah, we're actually very happy to move, and we're hoping for this. We've got H4 as well. Guy's playing really well. How can we fight against this? Let's get this king out of harm's way. Oh, okay. Don't think that's a fantastic move. Yeah, Tim, believe me, I was looking at G5, and I'll tell you what I didn't like. Tim, queen takes G5, and my bishop hanging with check. So, again, right idea, I think, but just a little more preparation. But that I was on the same page. Okay, let's give a little check ski. Just, you know, we want to see what's going on there. Yeah, B5 can always be played. I have to say, I'm usually in a different camp. Trying to choose a more solid option. But B5 is definitely a serious move here. I think we'll go like this. We'll defend that. We'll keep this defended, and we'll also sort of eyeball the king. Remember, when we play this move, in a lot of cases, I mean, you might get taken and the bishop shows up there, so we gotta make sure we don't just throw g5 out there. It doesn't actually lead to anything. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Anchor the bishop in on on e4 with f5. This bishop now, I will absolutely think about the move b5. Yeah, let's take this, and I know it doesn't look like b5 is as good anymore, but believe me, it's quite strong here. This bishop is as good as being off the board because it can't ever rejoin the game. All we need to do is trade one pair of rooks. So he's going to try to double. We just trade one. And then the other rook we can leave there. We don't really care about the A file. He can have it, basically. And notice how this bishop is just not playing the game. I'm going to play f4 so that he doesn't break free from this little prison here. Okay, honestly, good move. He's trying to make it happen. He's losing all of his pawns and whatever in the process, but he's trying to break out. Look how difficult it is. I mean, now he's got two pieces trapped, right? Instead of one. GG. Kind of a tough situation there. That was the England d4 e5. You may recognize this opening because remember I told you when we have it with the white pieces, it is literally just this opening plus the move a6. So that's why e4 d5 we play a3. It's the exact same. In this one, he didn't make any effort to keep his pawn, so we're happy to just take it back, and we actually made use of our queen in its central position and got a pretty nice attack going. All right, I'm gonna go into the next one here. e4, and we got the two knights out. We don't always see black respond like this, but as you can imagine, 99.999% of the time it's gonna happen. Hey, knight d4, there's that move again. We're gonna go queen check. And we're gonna go a4. Man, these 700s are not ready for this deep idea. They're not ready at all. a5. I think we can just go take this pawn here. Okay, maybe we throw that in. Or we could wait for the bishop to show up there and then throw that in. I think we'll do it now. Do it first. This rook can always go back here. Yeah, usually you play king d1 in this opening, which is kind of why I'm like pausing, because I'm like pretty sure this is the good move instead of castling. I know one of these two moves. Not really sure which one. They both look all right. Let's go for this one. Could also keep the rook here, but I think the king will move next, so like that. Could have played a bishop takes a6. Really stop and think, but played rook b8, and there's a little moment there for bishop a6. I can actually still play it, so I think I will, but there was a moment there. It's kind of a funny position, like literally haven't even moved my bishop from c1. I don't know, Leslie, it's kind of, I don't know, like a high level idea to explain, but, and I think I can take this, but I want to be careful of the bishop getting in. I don't want to deal with that. Basically, Leslie, as you can see in this endgame, it is kind of helpful my king is here, like close to all my pawns and bishops and like ready for the endgame. And if it was on g1, it'd probably be a little bit misplaced there. Okay, there is rook here. Let's go here. We can give a check, and it's kind of nice that this move, right, allows everything. So yeah, he's gonna have to react to that. Now we can just play this, because if he takes, then we'll go here and we'll win his bishop. Yeah. Unfortunate for us that we don't actually just get a checkmate like right off the bat there, but I think we can survive. That's gonna be a mate. No matter what you do, unfortunately. This fun, energetic, fighting opening claims yet another victim. Very nice. Good game. This is a common one. I actually think as we get to higher ratings, we won't see this as much, but I'm ready to play it. It's just kind of a funny line where it's, first of all, one of the reasons why I can have success with this is nobody's seen it before. It's brand new. And the other thing is, like, who the hell is expecting this to actually have a real idea of winning the pawn? Like, you just don't think of these things. Already worse. And yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, there's a bunch of moves playable here, but to really like differentiate between king d1 and castle it is tough here. It's just like all my rook wants to do is go to e1, right? So that's one of the main reasons. If that bishop was developed somewhere, I would be like, oh, of course we want a castle, because my rook might want to use any one of these squares. In a different chess position, there might be an open d file. There might be an open b file. There might be a half open c file for them, and I need to defend something. But nothing's open right now. There's only one open file, so it's so obvious that my rook wants to go there. And queens are off the board, so we're in an endgame. So it's like, well, king d1 facilitates all of that immediately. Instead of castles, and then rook e1, and then maybe king back to the center later. This just takes care of everything. But it's just ironic that it's possible not a lot of strong players actually go into this line. Most strong players against knight d5, I've played it in the chess.com pool on my main account. 2700s, 2800s, they don't take. Like, they play d6, they even play bishop c5, bishop e7. even knight takes e4. Like, they do not play knight takes d5. So I think it's funny that we have this like high level variation that I was like, man, I'm excited to, like, this is like really meticulous, like what an obscure variation. King d1 feels so cool, and here I am donning it against 700s in the pool. I thought I'd be busting this out to squeak out a win against a GM in a hard-fought game. Nope. No, it's the 6 and 700s from the pool that are really getting the fucking beat down. Just getting the prep that was intended for the World Championship match. Sorry, boys. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's go next. E3. I have to admit, we don't have variation for E3. Let's take the center. D4. Alright, maybe we play this and kind of transpose a little bit. Just try to get a position that looks a little bit more like some of our openings. Honestly, knight c3, knight g4, I mean, have we seen this before, guys? Basically, the move a3 is inserted, but it's the same. It's the same situation. Oh no, this can't be good. H3 is crazy. What do you think I played knight g4 for? So even though my bishop might be, I was going to say, one with the move knight a4, the good thing is this knight already has a way out with knight g3 and knight takes f1. So that part makes me feel pretty good. Okay, so I think I'm going to play this move just so it's clear, like, you know, I am getting my piece out. Like, let me just get that on record. Let's go back. Now that my knight's here, I know that I'm either gonna walk away or take the bishop, so I'm not as stressed about it as when it might be sitting there, and then I'm worried maybe it doesn't even make it that far. So yeah, pretty happy to do this. I'm up one entire rook here. Feeling great. Castle. Most likely f5 will get played. Wow, that's actually a good move by him. King g2 coming. I mean, when you're down the material that my opponent's down, it's kind of fair to say not much will help your position, but impressed. Impressed. Let's go h6. Okay, this I think is actually a good sign. We want things to open up a little bit, so I'm going to take, kind of assuming knight takes, but yeah, okay. Bishop takes. It's going to say f6, and how does white go? Should go back there. But instead, we're going to get a chance to play f5 and hopefully open things up in our favor here. Let's take knight g5, we just take it. Queen g4, knight f6. Queen e4, knight f6. Bishop defending. And this should be the end of the game here. Maybe queen d2 takes and work. Maybe king g3. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh no. I tried to tell you. Ouch. All right, we didn't really get any of our openings here, but hey, what the heck am I supposed to do against E3, right? Not a move. Next. All right, E4. Let's see what we got here. We've seen this before. We've seen this before. It's time for our opening. The Pegasus plunge. Okay. A little bit different, right? A little bit different. I think we're going to take here. And if I'm remembering, just play bishop c4 after that. And by the way, d6, bishop, b5 check is quite good looking as well. Yeah, so obviously if we take, there's this pretty creative move. But I think we can just castle here, and then rook e1 happens. And this gets really good really fast for white. Yeah, rook e1 is looking great. All right, queen g5. So the thing about queen g5, remember, I'm still attacking this knight. So I take the knight. Now, I get that you're attacking my knight, but you were attacking my knight from that square. So nothing's changed about my rook e1 move, right? Okay, now this move has been played. What are the chances that he sees the queen's attack? I feel like a classic lower rated player thing is put the queen here and then lose it to the bishop. I mean, I'd like to say credit to him, and I'm impressed, but there's not much to be impressed about, as he quickly realizes, and so he just resigns. Like, here I was about to be like, damn, the guy saw that wasn't actually a lost queen. And then here I am being like, well, it is checkmate in 2, so I'm not sure. Not sure we should be handing the lad too much credit here. Yeah, I mean, after castle, I think it's just already a great position. I really like the position after bishop c4. Good stuff. A bully indeed. Hey, the Pegasus plunge takes, and we're already putting the question to our opponent here. I love it. All right, e4, e5. Whoa, quick knight c3. So this is the thing. In the past, I've been like, oh, okay. Maybe with this move, I play here hoping they go into a Vienna or something. So now, this might not be smart for me, but now I'm going to try this move. Hoping that he just plays that. Yes, now we go back into this. All right, so that worked out there. d4, and let's go immediately with knight g6. They usually push. It's so tempting. Okay, let's probably go ahead with this h6 move. It looks silly, but when you put the knight on g6, that g5 square is actually so vulnerable. It's really nice to play h6 in conjunction. So then your e-pawn is covered, g5 is covered, then you can safely put your queen there. There's no knight d5. That's why this d5 pawn push, in my opinion, is not great. Now we're in a predicament, right? If I take, I can't use the f4 square, but it's hard not to take. I mean, it's such a great looking move. He might reevaluate and castle this way. That's fine with us. We're still very happy with the position. Okay, let's go here. I mentioned it's always really nice to play a6 in this kind of position. He goes immediately with h4. I guess h5's, I don't know about a threat, but it's definitely a move. I'm gonna let him do it and just reroute the knight. We have a very comfortable position here. This is the dream. Bishop here does threaten the pawn, although it encourages the knight to move, which I'm not sure we want to encourage. Okay, so there we go. The knight moved. I was expecting that. Now I want to get my knight to g5. He goes here, which does lose a pawn. Make no mistake. And remember, I haven't castled here yet, so at any point I could just castle the other way. Could also put the knight there, but I'm thinking to just target this pawn and see what we can do. Maybe rook h4, knight e4 could happen. All right, let's take it. I think it's time to take. We'll have to put up with this move, but as long as we stop knight f5, I think we should be okay. I can stop it with either of these moves. Crazy enough, I can also stop it with this move. I know it looks like the worst idea, but it does defend the bishop. Actually seems all right. Alright, rook here. Silly move, because I know that he's going to play that. Now we can unleash the double attack. Now we're up a lot of material. Should be enough. I'm not going to take the pawn. I'm going to actually play this just because it attacks the knight. So I know I have other good moves to play, but to me, it's always simplest to just trade material off. So I won a knight, I lost a knight. That's a trade. All right, I'm picking a champion. Initially, it's going to be the h-pawn. It's backed up by my rook. But if it gets stopped, which I did expect, then we got to bring another one with him. But don't forget about the h-pawn. The intended champion the entire time. Yeah, not much to do there. Don't blame him. Yeah, in the 4 knights, I like to call this opening the 3.5 knights variation with 97. And the goal with our openings with the black pieces every time is 97, knight g6, and h6. That's it. It's a really effective setup. So yeah, after knight g6, white can definitely play h4, h5. But that's not really a part of most white openings. And obviously, after something like that, my knight can still move. It's not like it doesn't have squares. f4 is usually a good one. I can reroute into the center. But yeah, most of the time, white usually is up to their own play. So the knight just kind of fits in really nicely. f4 is almost always available. g3 is pretty weakening when the bishop's out here, because our bishop can potentially invade. No, but that's a great instinct, Brian. I always tell people when there's knights here, always think about pushing pawns to bother them. So that's a good instinct to have. We're at 847. Let's go. Into the next one, we got another e4, e5 game. All right. And just going to be d6 for now. So let's go with the knight. Okay, bishop g4 is interesting. Oh, okay. Well, this is not going to be a difficult move for me to play. Queen takes, I guess. We're kind of going to stick with our plan of plunging in with this knight to d5. I mean, knight takes, bishop takes, hits those two pawns at the end. And honestly, in this position, I'm wondering if we have a rather nifty looking tactic here. Hitting f7 and b7. Credit to my opponent for just defending the pawn that mattered. And yeah, I mean, black's down a pawn here, but it's not the end of the world. You know, you can make do. Go here. This queen needs to move. I think looks weird to go there. Very weird square for the queen, but it's temporary. But yeah, that I don't feel good right now. Okay, feeling better by the second, but that was weird for sure. This and this, and I'm still under a lot of pressure. Okay, I think my opponent wants to do this, which is honestly totally fine with me. Basically, it's a way for me to never have to develop that bishop, right? Who's going to complain? You're going to trade it for me. Thank you. A4. Just, I mean, generally speaking, I'm definitely pretty impressed by the moves we're seeing here. I think he's playing well. Okay, I'll go b4, and on knight d6, I'll probably play c3. I could take it, but I think just c3. Notice how there's been a shift in the last couple moves. My pawns have started to appear on dark squares. It's just a much better way of handling a light squared bishop. Is your pawns start to control the squares the knight might want to jump to. Okay, I'm gonna push b5. I actually think I'll let that trade happen because I'd be pretty satisfied with it. We'll threaten this pawn. I think it'll be taken, but this is great. Hey, that's a pass pawn. Don't make fun of that pawn. It's gonna do great things. Hitting this, but it's kind of dual purpose. We might see queen a5 to defend it, but then the other pawns start to fall. And I also have a nice plan of doubling and just pushing this pawn as far as it'll go. That will tie down every piece in the position. All right. Queen g5. This is rook behind the pawn moment. Queen d2, maybe even queen. Okay. just push. This does get attacked, but we were kind of ready for that. We just want to go here. So when you're pushing a pawn, it's like, okay, push it, great. But then in order to push it further, you have to kind of challenge the blockade of that pawn. If the queens get traded, I know I'm winning by just pushing this extra pawn I have over here. So I'm going to keep offering, even instead of taking this pawn, I'm going to keep offering a queen trade. Because I just know that that's a winning scenario, right? Where this pawn gets involved as well. That's a queen, unless the rook goes there, but then that's a queen. And that's a mate. GG. Sarah's got that. That's definitely a teachable moment. If you're playing bishop against knight, or in general, if you're just trying to control a knight, but you have a certain color bishop on the board, like here, I only got one bishop on the board. And if you started to see me in this position play moves like, let's just make random moves for black, f3, b3, a4, h3. Do you see how much worse my position is? Right? h4, queen f4, God forbid a knight gets here or here or here. Like, I just don't control. Like, this is terrible. But then on the contrary, look at how good my position looks. Maybe in this situation, much different. Of course, I can't change the e-pawn, it's already there, but I'm maybe playing b5, I'm maybe playing d4, maybe playing f4, controlling all these squares. Very nice, right? Big difference. What's up, buddy?
I'm sorry.
Gang's back. You feel refreshed?
Very exciting.
I hope so. Bogus, Brian, Sarah's God. Because remember, you have a light squared bishop, so that controls a lot of light squares. And then you put the pawns on dark squares to control the other color complex. Oh, great to see some goals there, Crosby87. Appreciate that. Appreciate the notification. Vegas and your good friends, the Canadian team. All right, 850. Still going here. On to the next one. Okay, d4. Hey, we haven't seen this too often. So our opening against the Khan is pretty much knight here and f4. It's interesting that my opponent didn't take. I've played this opening a ton. Everybody takes. He didn't take. It's remarkable. I'm going to continue to put my pieces on the squares that I would if he did take. So that means queen here and fianchetto. But this variation, called the Drunken Knight variation, involves the concept of bringing the knight back to f2, not trading. The idea is just to play queen e2, g3, bishop g2. Now, this move, I'm going to have to play d4 because, like, you're asking for it, right? You're just asking for it. think I'm liking the look of this one. Just go for this. Hello, Aryan.
Long time no see.
Over under on that joke being made.
It's crazy not to have seen you for a day and a half.
Gory says hello to you as well.
Hello
You
to
don't-
Corey.
Same message for Gory. Feels crazy not to see Gory for a day and a
For
half.
sure. Kissing the whole chat. I'll be sitting on this chair representing the Maple Leafs in the back.
After their loss tonight. Thanks, Aryan.
Yes.
Appreciate
Trying
that.
to cheer them up.
All right,
Doing a
I'm gonna
speedrun,
castle. I am.
A systematic speedrun.
I am. These are openings I was telling you about, like the ones that are all kind of ones we came up with.
Yeah. I just need to remember them all so I can play them too.
As you can imagine, at this reading, we're mostly getting E4, E5 in every game, which is fine. So
People
lots
are-
of E45
Yeah,
practice.
people are very solid at this level though.
The games we just endured, like, I think that they are building 800s just different than I remember. Seriously, these guys are all so strong. Sometimes I beat them and I'm like you, I feel bad. Like maybe they should have half a point for their performance. Like it was that good.
It fights very well. It just has changed from 10 years ago.
Sorry to disappoint you, Gory. Aryan wasn't quite up for Arena Kings.
Wait,
this
Aryan,
one.
can you pronounce the username?
Which one?
The one that starts with P?
Gory Hole? Did that wrong?
Gary Hole.
Is it?
Gary Hole.
Gory Hole sounds better though, no?
Gary Hole.
Yeah, my friend Gary. Wow, it's an incredible move. Like just even the
But he had prepared it, no? He was waiting,
Yeah.
waiting for you to play Rook D1.
no, it's unbelievable.
Maybe because this was maybe a misclick. It's unlucky for him.
Wow. But that's the thing, into the resignation, it's like I feel bad. Like he's got energy at 850 ELO. Let's see what opening we get next. Hopefully it's one I can actually show you.
Which rating do you start with? Only 600 or where do you start?
For these, it depends. Like some series make sense to start a little bit higher or lower, but usually I like to start them at like, you know, let's say 400, not lower than 400, but 400 to represent the working class.
There's often a
Yeah.
lot of people that say
That's
that
like
you're
their,
starting too low and you're just banging things. What do you have to say to that?
a lot of people do. And I think the people who are saying that we are starting too low are usually the people that could probably benefit the most from watching those videos.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
we have to cover all the levels.
People aren't ready to have the conversation that there's a lot of 400s in chat.
Yep.
It's just the truth. You know, we have the statistics.
Who is crossplay? I should know, right?
That's your good friend Moistad.
That is the brand. No, it. Amazing.
No, it's nobody. You've never met. Moistad is a skinny brown rodent.
I never met him, right?
I don't think
Okay, now
so.
it feels less bad.
Unless you were in the unless you were there for the Dallas trip.
Oh, I've never been to Dallas in my life. So.
I believe that's the only Crosby 87 sighting.
Hey Tim, how you doing?
Outside of
Good
the dungeon.
to see you. And hey Etium.
All right, let's hopefully get a nice opening to.
Ethereum.
Okay, E4, knight F3.
Experience
Knight
was great,
C3.
Bogus Rogus. Speaking in front of a crowd and meeting a lot of new faces. An experience I will remember. Of course, it took a lot of energy working from 2 to 8.
Oh, Aryan, we're not talking about the candidates anymore. No, we don't want FIDE included in, because that'll be like promotion for FIDE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't want them in the speedrun,
Okay,
you know?
okay.
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
Aryan won't be fielding any more questions about the candidates. Sorry to disappoint all the fans.
I'll shut up, guys.
So if you'd like to ask Aryan maybe more personal questions, we'll be fielding those questions
He
now.
was ready for your opening, no?
He was, yeah. He would rather blunder than play into it.
But in fact, if Brando plays this, he's winning for 4.
I was gonna say, it's a good thing we have an expert here.
Black, no?
Good thing I have an expert beside me. It's lucky that this move didn't get played.
Aryan, look what I'm watching.
What is this?
Oh, I think I just lost Aryan as a sidekick
Do
here.
you know who this is, Aman?
Not a
Spent
clue.
month with this girl.
Not a clue.
Brazilian. Went to Nice over there, went to Norway too, is it me?
Did she just
Started
become a chess player?
She started streaming one. She wasn't just 1200. Started chess today.
Late, like when she met you?
No. She, I think, 2018, 2017. Randomly got introduced to chess from a friend. Very into it.
Fascinating.
You have a lot of choices here.
Yep, I'm gonna go with this. Have to prevent the castling.
You can't take.
Only one move to play, no?
It's beautiful. I like the energy. Setting up the force.
Force for sure. First of all, the rook has to move. And then maybe the knight will go here. And then we just, you know, kind of like lock it in.
I'm not sure if you will. Oh yeah,
That's a shame. Yeah, game abandoned.
Big.
I think we all could count on maybe the rook moving, and because the pawn's near the knight, maybe the knight moving.
Yeah, he's very good. He saw the mate coming. So.
He saw the mate coming. Okay, give him some credit there. Although we faced knight f6 probably the last 20 games in a row, so I think Aryan's scared off the theory. Maybe he played this.
Probably checked their games, no?
Probably checked your games. Bishop c5 knows the win rate against you and went for it. Yeah. He might have thought you were playing. Couldn't tell I was on the mouse.
Bad luck for missing knight fast.
Okay, we're at 868. We're playing Achilles. And
I remember you were doing the speedruns with sacrificing your queen back in the Calgary list.
that's right. I have a whole series on our chessbrah YouTube channel with you.
You were trying to reach 2000.
Dude, Aryan shows up and like, what, we got an 800 playing c4? Like what? Never seen this in my life?
Do you have a system against that too? Or you haven't invented anything?
No.
Not yet.
I mean, this is unbelievable.
You have to abort the game now.
Yeah, like Tim.
Before it's legal.
Yeah. No, I don't play against c4. I'm like Tim. We abort the game. Yeah. No, we don't have a system against c4. We just abort the game.
It's good that you can abort with black and not with black.
This is good. Okay. Yep. Edit it out. This is where we have to... Yeah, it's remarkable. The last 20 games, we've had somebody play knight f6. And then you show up and all of a sudden it's bishop c5. Maybe they played that because you were here. Maybe they thought you were playing. Alright, well, let's jump into the next one. 868.
Maybe it's Brando playing with that account. Maybe it's just curse.
Alright. E4. Classic move. You see it all the time at this rating. Pretty much don't see anything else. Knight c6, bishop b5. And the Hambleton defense.
This already has an opening, yeah? The Gundram variation? What is this? The
No.
dungeon?
We've actually debunked that, Aryan. So chess.com gives it a name, but actually the Gundram variation is not this. So if you Google this opening, or if you look at it, it's actually not queen f6. I believe it's even queen e7.
Maybe you should send the chess-based guys an email saying that they should name this opening after you, no? Or what is it? What's the sort of criteria that we can name an opening after you?
I'm not sure. I think if you play Anna Kramling's opening, the cow, it says the cow. I think all you have to do is ask.
You should ask.
Good idea, no?
You always get good position, so it works out. Ask.
We have a nice threat there. We also have a nice threat here. Amazing,
Very
right?
funny. Yeah.
Maybe this.
Lucky that he wasn't watching the stream.
Okay, G3. Now we've got this as well, and guys, I mean, I'm not gonna complain. Sitting here up a rook,
After 12 moves.
thanks to our great opening in 12 moves. As Yasser likes to say, I'll fall for it. Here I actually would fall for it.
Yeah, that would be a disaster after round one.
Yeah, couldn't recover after that. Good move. How to put away this brilliant position. Okay, ask the question. Assume this knight needs to move. Maybe we can even just kind of break through on the H file here, if not in the center. We have a nice little...
Some interesting plans.
Most plans tend to work when you're up a rook. That's what I've learned over the years.
Salted plays bishop h4, he just gives the bishop. Like, the white doesn't have to take it, that's the problem.
No, they do.
They do?
Yeah.
You know 800 players better than I do. That's
I do. Those are... I specialize in the 800 ELO brain.
Did I feel you've had speedruns with the systematic account, or did you reset it? Or?
I did, but I also even changed the name. It was actually called System Player.
Oh, okay.
You have a good memory.
I just feel like I saw a 1500 fellow with a systematic.
Correct. Oh, you remember correctly, buddy. But yeah, I slightly changed the name, and I did reset it. Okay. F4. Salty definitely has... I mean, here is too high level. Probably Salty just plays H4 and sends it. Just kind of hope for the best here.
That's not for me to answer cross-pick.
Can't tell which...
I thought you were gonna make a knight instead of taking a knight.
It'd be nice to make a knight for checkmate. That would be really nice.
Queen trade with rook down.
I have to respect it. I'll take the trade.
Bad luck for India is the 8th one, otherwise there would be still probabilities.
There's a nice little pattern to mate that I know.
You're very good at that actually. I wish I had this, like, yeah, just by pre-move and...
Yeah. That way you know
Also,
it's going to
when
work
I-
every single time.
You could actually make 58 moves with 5 days.
That's right. That's right. If only he would play A3, I could demonstrate that. GG to Black Drancer. That's a tough name to say. Toe 4.
On purpose, no?
Really,
It's like the store Lululemon that they made it in a way that it's hard to say.
Lululemon. Lululemon.
we don't do rematches in this series, guys.
Did we get a raid or are we on just TV something?
You can actually, Real T is in the chat. He handles the numbers. So Real T, seems that we are at over 100 viewers. So as he likes to say, that means we're on Chess TV.
Oh.
So, yep, Chess TV, and we can verify that right here.
Oh wow.
There you go.
Wow.
Yep.
I feel a lot of pressure.
So do our opponents.
I might
There's
start
now 1,000 more 400s watching.
I might start to get nervous now, guys.
All right, we're at 876.
Aman, have you ever heard of the Ebu Gogo?
That's a very good question. We were watching an interesting documentary yesterday with
I'm gonna
Jeff.
play
Some interesting
here.
creatures
No,
in Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Yes.
It's true. It is in Asia.
Something I definitely hadn't seen before or thought about. I'm curious if anybody in the chat has heard about the Ebu Gogos.
Is it a tribe?
No, it's not a tribe. It's
a
some
way of
kind
life?
Creatures. It's they're living basically. I mean, they're looking like humans, but in a different version. They are creatures, but very dangerous.
Isn't that a tribe?
No, they're literally like apes, but like.
It's some kind of creature you've never imagined.
They're like
before.
1 meter tall, and they're like, yeah, Ebu Gogo. Yeah, it's literally it.
No, but they exist in Indonesia. There's a documentary that in 1977 they attacked and killed two students.
Yeah, right there.
The third one
three
survived.
right there on the right.
They
Yeah.
killed 2 students and the third one survived. And they thought that the person that survived got sentenced to life in prison because they didn't believe him that there was the Ebu Gogos that had killed his friends. They thought that he did it. And when
So he spent his whole. Is he out of jail now? He spent his whole life in prison?
finally they found evidence that it was the Ebu Gogo and not him. But then he was already dead in the cell when they found evidence.
He was dead in the cell.
Like after 35 years, I mean, he was. I got sick. In the prison in Indonesia.
Can you imagine how tilting it would be?
Yeah, but the prison in Indonesia is one of the worst.
This short little man murders your friend, and you're in prison for life.
Yeah, after 35 years, they found evidence to release him, and then they found 9 months after he was dead in the prison, in the cell.
Insane.
Wow, J-Bell knows. Dang, J-Bell just knows everything.
J-Bell is so fucking smart. Insane.
He's very
Yeah.
cultured, no? Like,
Yeah. Wish I had J-Bell's brain.
yeah. This guy says hello here.
Yeah, but this is some insane kind of creatures. Like you would think it's fake, but they are real. They exist.
Like, I don't need this guy murdering my friends.
Yeah, but they ate his friends.
I don't need him
They
going
eat-
near my buddies.
They eat humans. Yeah, so after that, after watching that documentary, I'm a bit afraid to go to Indonesia.
You don't think you'll go to Indonesia again after that?
I've never been to Indonesia. I was actually thinking about going, but after watching that documentary, I'm very scared. So probably not going to Indonesia.
Anyway, so
they're
now
hiding in the forest in Indonesia.
It's actually quite scary.
Waiting for you.
So now the meme is that everything that Aryan does, I'm like, watch out for the Ebu Gogo. So he's like, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be like, okay, you know,
Be careful. And is it like a name for a group of them? Like
No, it's
the
just-
Abu Gogo? Or one of them is an Abu Gogo?
Oh, I think it's just their species called the Abu.
You should have seen the documentary, Aman. This is, I've never seen something like this. It's like creatures you never know exist.
Great.
Creatures.
All right. This is kind of funny. So there's Nepo, right?
You know, this guy, when I saw his username, I thought about Nepo.
Diego says Abu Gori is gonna come and eat you when you bang.
So this Nepo's username is La Chessescu,
Yeah.
and this guy's JR Chessescu.
I mean, his brother, no?
Junior, no?
I immediately thought about Nepo when I saw the username.
We might be playing Nepo Junior right now. We're busting out our great opening against the French here. Not seen too often, folks.
Maybe Nepo has a kid in Brazil. No.
Maybe it's Luis.
I'll take this one and ask a question.
You got the answer.
That's a move that really helps
That was,
helps us out here.
Yeah, that was the best strategy. So,
King e7, man,
big
that
burst.
really hurts your chances here. Wow, no f6. This loses more material. This is rough.
Maybe this guy is the relative of Nepo.
Wow, even does this. I regret to say this does not look survivable. Oh, okay, a 12 move win, all because of the opening. As we can see here, the French really threw my opponent off. He hit us with e6, and we hit him with the preparation c3 and pre-move knight f3. Undoubtedly encouraging d takes e4 and a position that the
It's
French
very
player is
playable, I
never
like
used to.
What is the best way for black to play? What is like,
Well, most of the GMs that I've played it against in the pool, they go here, right? Because bishop c6, and then they go knight d7 to stop knight e5, and I go knight d4. Because in the French, the pawn's on d4.
Yeah.
So it's quite
It's a
clever.
nice trick.
And then I played one GM who played the engine best line, which was this. Okay, c4, like c5, you know, some sweaty stuff. But you have to know what you're doing here as black. Takes, like e5, but like this
Very playable.
very playable. I
really
can
wanna
give the
try
pawn
this.
back, and
e4, e6, you go c3, d5, knight f3.
but pre-move knight f3.
So if they go knight f6, it does transfer us back into the.
But make sure you pre-move knight f3, because that's part of it. So you want it to look like a mistake, so that they take it.
But if they go knight f6, you have to transfer us back to the advanced variation of the French.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
There we are not do that.
I think e5 here. Maybe e5 d4.
So if I play
Yeah.
this against GMs, they will just do that. Just
Must be.
And then usually knight doesn't go to d7, the normal French, so it's different.
Yeah, I'll do this.
This is a better version for it. Usually knight goes to e7. Now,
This is the same here as
yeah.
I'll
but
take.
you never get this.
I'll take that.
Yeah, you never get. But play this one.
Wow. Really learning from the 800.
d5, knight
I'm
f3.
with this.
This is very common. Okay, the engine gives also this. This is another one that I see very often. And here, to be honest, it's not a great position, but I like to play like this and just like
Get a position.
it's
you get a
just
game.
not gonna be too bad.
You get a game.
Yeah. Yeah. But only like very strong players will like get this. Like if I'm playing a GM, I'm fine. I'll just play this. That's fine.
There's anyway blitz.
But as you saw against this guy, like I kept my queen out because it's a little more dangerous. And if he castles, I might play like I don't know.
Yeah, it works.
Can lose very quickly. Can lose very quickly. The amount of people that I've checkmated like this is like innumerable.
Nice.
All right, we're at 893. Let's go again.
The goal is now to get to as high as possible.
900. We take them 100 intervals at a time. Okay, here we go. D4.
One
Rarely
game away,
seen, but we're gonna be playing our undefeated opening here. Knight C3.
This is almost your sponsor, no? Holskers.
Exclamation mark, Holtzgren.
I thought you were going at H5. Maybe it's too much. It would be in the spirit of her openings.
I respect my opponent. Here, knight B5.
Oh, I'm impressed that Jabel knew about the Ebu Gogo. So cultured.
You think it's culture to know about it or not to know about it?
I don't think many people know about it, honestly. Maybe I've been living under the ground. I don't think many people.
But like,
The ground.
let's say that I knew exactly how many, exactly the average amount of times that, males between 20 and 22 masturbate per day. Would you say I'm cultured for knowing that piece of information? Or would you say that perhaps it's more cultured not to know it?
It's probably more cultured not to know. Yeah?
Right.
I mean,
That's sort of what I'm getting at with the Ebu Gogo. I start to maybe wonder about J-Bell, because he knows about the Ebu Gogo.
yeah,
Prompts me to ask why.
Well, you said if most people don't know, that means that it doesn't mean that they're cultured, but like they're uncultured.
It definitely means that for any ladies maybe listening to the broadcast, I think J-Bell's the guy who would keep you safe. Count the exits.
Yeah, if you
Count the go-go's in the room.
If you go to the Indonesian forest with J-Bell, your chances of going out there alive are higher.
That's right.
Than with most people. Those eyes.
Lizard ladies.
Saturday, champ, 1977.
Oh, you planned one? Yeah.
2 o'clock on Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Very exciting.
I made sure to have a plan after it at night, so I have a way to escape.
It's very smart.
Very smart, no?
No, seriously.
So I have something I have to do at 7:30, so I planned it, so
That's perfect.
he can't keep me there forever.
Brilliant idea.
We're letting the knights do the talking here.
Night dance. Probably Friday, J-Bell.
Okay. We're gonna double up and put the knight on c2, and that looks like it'll be good enough. And I think that this one will have enough to get 900 here. Oh,
Congrats.
I think when the king starts coming out, they get
definitely deserve a KO for that one.
Kyo.
So my uncle had a dog, and his name was Nemo. Very funny.
Aryan said, "We're at 901. All right. Uncle's got a dog named Nemo. We're done with the speedrun. Perfect. We're not gonna no discussion about hitting 900. No review of the openings for the YouTube. No, straight into Nemo's fucking dog. All right.
I was waiting for you to get 900 to give that information.
Understandable.
You have to be
Sorry to have kept you waiting.
You have to.
So
wait.
what about the dog?
You have to be over 900 to know that. No, it was just funny. That,
Your uncle has a dog named Nemo.
yeah.